Gen friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the CHANAKYA Dialogues English. You're condemning their actions, right? You don't like it. And within the law, within Canadian law, you're doing your best to stop the Khalistanis. We would have understood. They don't look at the fact that they're not wearing socks and they haven't eaten in 3 days. They love listening to these stories. And these are the stories that, Erdogan was telling the Pakistanis. Gen friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the CHANAKYA Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. We start with offering condolences to all those who died in the 9/11 attacks and undoubtedly the most dastardly and vicious terror attack in all of human history. Our condolences once more. Ladies and gentlemen, G20 is over. And the baton of the G20 has passed from India to Brazil, and next year the world will congregate in Brazil. And it's going to be G20 plus one. We once again welcome our African brothers and sisters to the G20 as permanent members. Now, there are some basic things that have happened, things which have become a little bit controversial and things which have caused a little bit of a heartburn. And I'm going to deal with these issues because the nice things have already been said. Now, Canada is unhappy. The people who were unhappy earlier are happy. And some people who were unhappy always are still unhappy. Let me deal with them one by one. Now, I'll first start off by Prime Minister Modi, who some people say gave a dressing down to the Canadian Prime Minister. Now, I have friends who were there reporting and friends who were there in the media. And what they heard from various people there, because a lot of foreign publications going around, a lot of foreign media houses there. And one thing that many of them said was that the Prime Minister was very blunt with Justin Trudeau, extremely blunt. And this was regarding the Khalistanis. And Justin Trudeau did try to put up some sort of a weak defense in front of Prime Minister Modi, but Prime Minister Modi was in no mood to listen to Justin Trudeau's nonsense. Prime Minister Modi pointed out to Justin Trudeau that many of these Khalistanis were involved in the drug trade, many of them were criminals. They're calling for secessionism, calling for the breakup of India, and above all, they're trying to harm Indian diplomats. Now, it's Canada's responsibility to protect Indian diplomats, and you can't allow this. So, as I said, some sort of a weak defense, Justin Trudeau tried and said that, no, actually, Canada promotes freedom of speech and all that. The Prime Minister Modi said nothing doing. Freedom of speech cannot mean that you put our diplomats' life in danger. And all this nonsense about freedom of speech. Yeah, you want to jump from a cliff, go ahead, yeah. Why should you put our diplomats' life in danger? This is what I am saying. Of course, Prime Minister Modi would have spoken to him in extremely diplomatic language. I can afford to be a little more blunt. You want to cause harm to Canadians? Go ahead, yeah. I couldn't care less. But if Indians are there in Canada, especially diplomats, you have got to protect them. You have got to protect them. What happens if 10,000 Indians surround the Canadian High Commission in Delhi? Let's say I get my people. And I say, okay, let's surround the Canadian High Commission. Let's assume that this is, this High Commission also represents these Khalistanis, these criminal Khalistanis. What do you think is going to happen to that High Commission? You should not do that. I'm not advocating anything at all. I wish peace, and I really do wish that, Canada and India are the best of friends. But with a weak Prime Minister like Justin Trudeau, extremely weak Prime Minister like Justin Trudeau, who depends upon a bona fide Khalistani like Jagmeet Singh to be in power. He's not going to take any action against the Khalistanis. So he started saying, no. And, you can't judge the entire nation because of a few. Of course we can, and we will. We will judge Canada. Because what you have done is, by your inaction, if Khalistanis had attacked the Indian High Commission or our consulates, and you were trying to stop them, we could have understood. And we would have understood that, yes, you're trying to stop them. You're condemning their actions, right? You don't like it. And within the law, within Canadian law, you're doing your best to stop the Khalistanis, we would have understood. The problem is that you're not trying. The problem is that you don't want to try. Because as I said, you owe your chair to these Khalistani vermin, which is why you're not trying. And one day, you will fall from grace, Justin Trudeau. One day, you will cease to be the Prime Minister of Canada. And the day is not far, don't worry. Now, we've got you in our sights. And we are going to do the best we can. We are going to do the best we can. because we have to protect our country against these, crazy Khalistanis. We have got to do our best, and we will do whatever we can. And don't worry, we are at it now, because we have understood that from you we cannot expect any justice, from you we cannot expect anything which is right. You're going to stick to your chair, even if it means doing things that are ethically incorrect. And Canada is a great country. And that statement that I've given about your High Commission in New Delhi, that was just to make a point. It's never been done in India. That was just to make a point with you, that what will happen if something like this happens, and you will not like it, right? And don't worry, we will not allow anybody to cause any harm in India, to any High Commission, any embassy, leave alone Canada. It's not going to happen in India. But the problem is you allow it. And that is our problem. You allow it, you willingly allow it, because Jagmeet Singh tells you that if you do not support an attack on an Indian temple, you do not support, these attacks on our consulate, or you do not support an attack on the Indian High Commission, I will withdraw support and you will cease to be Prime Minister. You're doing it for your chair, Justin Trudeau. That's what is wrong with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, Khalistan occupied much of the space between Prime Minister Modi and Justin Trudeau, and Justin Trudeau was supposed to leave yesterday, but his plane refused to fly, and probably being piloted by a Khalistani. You know how incompetent these Khalistanis are, I don't know. The last time, Khalistani Khalistani I use as a term for anybody who's stupid, who's got the IQ of a cauliflower. There was a time when these guys were parking that plane inside the hangar, and they actually, drove that plane inside a wall. It was inside, so I'm saying drive because it was on the ground, on its wheels, and they just smashed it in the hangar. These are the pilots of Justin Trudeau. I'm sure he's got these Nijar kind of people, yeah. Or maybe Gurpatwant Singh Pannu is the pilot. Though he's in the US, but yeah, US and Canada is the same, no? Maybe Pannu is Justin Trudeau's pilot. Only a drunk, drug-addicted Khalistani can act like Justin Trudeau's pilots. All right. Now, Saudi Arabia snubs Pakistan, and there is a great deal of heartburn in Pakistan, and the Pakistanis are saying, why did he break our faith? Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Now, it's a mental problem that the Pakistanis have. It's a psychological thing, they're damaged up here. And I'll tell you why. We have so many neighbors here. We have so many neighbors. You see, we have Bangladesh, we have Nepal, we have China, we have Myanmar, we have Sri Lanka, and nobody, by the way, if you look at the map, even Indonesia is not very far away. It's pretty close, yeah. It's pretty close, Indonesia. If you look at the last islands of the Andaman and Nicobar group of islands, and it's not very far. But leave alone Indonesia, no other country has ever said that, okay, that Prime Minister is coming to India, he's not coming to us. I mean, there is some mental problem with Pakistanis have. Why should we be connected to you, Pakistanis? What is the connection between you and us? There is no connection. What do you mean by somebody, if somebody comes to Pakistan, do we say that, why did you, I say nobody comes to Pakistan, by the way. But I'm just saying, if somebody came to Pakistan, we would never say, no, you must come to India also. No. If you've gone to Pakistan, please go back to your country, wash, change your clothes, and then come to India if you want to. You're not welcome. End of story. Why would you expect Mohammed bin Salman from India to stop over in Pakistan? What can Pakistan give anybody? Forget about Mohammed bin Salman. This is the Saudi royal family, some of the richest people on earth. What can you give? What has Pakistan to offer any country on earth? Please tell me. Except for, that both countries are Muslim countries. Apart from that, there is nothing. And this Muslim card you've been playing for such a long time that it's become ineffective. Now people laugh at you. Your own Muslim so-called brothers, these OIC people, they laugh at you. You've become a joke. You've become a joke, not only in the world. You've become a joke amongst Muslim countries. And they think you're a bunch of clowns. You want Mohammed bin Salman to go to Pakistan. Okay, let's say he goes to Pakistan. And I hope in the future he does go to Pakistan. Because everybody has got the right to indulge in some sort of adventure sports, So let's say he goes to Pakistan. His very idea of going to Pakistan will be, okay, let me go to Pakistan and let's, feel what danger looks like. Just experience it closely. So he goes to Pakistan. What are you going to offer him? What is it that you have to offer to anybody for that matter? The Chinese want your port. They want your land. It's very clear why the Chinese are there. Otherwise, okay. The Chinese have been investing for 7-8 years at least, or 10 years in 10 years, more than 10 years. You just had that 10-year celebration. Please ask the Chinese, and this is my challenge. This is my challenge to Pakistanis. Please ask Chinese, who are adept at building international airports and roads and factories at blistering speed. Yeah. I mean, I've seen these things coming up almost overnight. When I say overnight, I mean it as a sort of a example or an idiom or something like that. I have been to China so many times. You go to China one day, next time that entire thing is gone. There is a flyover there or something like that. That is how development in China takes place. Why is the China-Pakistan economic corridor ineffective after 10 years? How much money has China made? It's an investment, right? You call it the Chinese investment. I don't. I know it's a scam, but you say it's China's investment. So let's say it is an investment. Every investment has to have an ROI, a return on investment. What is China's ROI? How much money has China made from the China-Pakistan economic corridor? Can you tell me? You can't, because you don't know yourself. This is just an addition in the long list of things that you don't know, but you don't know. So what are you going to give Saudi Arabia? Nothing. And yet you say he should have come because he went to India. What sort of nonsensical logic is this, Pakistanis? Because somebody has come to my house, he has to go to your house also. I have the means to look after my guests. You don't have the means to look after your guests. All right. And in another news, ladies and gentlemen, what has happened is that the Pakistanis are extremely upset. The television channels, the YouTube people are all over town. And they're saying that we've been insulted by the Sheikh. And we've been insulted. And common Pakistanis are saying that, he does not believe in Islam any longer. And you know how Pakistanis are. You don't give them money, they start talking about Islam and all that. They get very emotional about everything. Okay. They just feel that because Mohammed bin Salman is a Muslim and they are Muslims, it is Mohammed bin Salman's job and his responsibility to keep feeding the Pakistani nation. And the Pakistanis don't have to do any work. Let them not work. Saudi Arabia will keep on writing checks of $5 billion every month. That's it. That is what Saudi Arabia is supposed to do. Saudi Arabia 5 billion, UAE 5 billion, and all the other Muslim countries according to their worth keep writing checks to Pakistan, so the Pakistanis can just sit back and have nihari in the morning and biryani in the afternoon and kadai in the evening. That's it. And the country is good. That's all the Pakistanis want to do. Now, the last news of the day is that Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who's the president of Turkey, says Turkey will be proud if a country like India becomes a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Now, Turkey will be proud if India becomes. Again, big shock to the Pakistanis, because till now, Erdogan was saying that, he was talking about the Ottoman Empire. He was talking about the Khilafat. The Ottoman Empire, the Khilafat. Pakistanis love listening to this nonsense from the past. Muslim invasions and Islamic history and this golden history where everybody was a multi-billionaire and everybody was richer than Elon Musk. They love listening to these Alif Laila stories. Pakistanis love these stories. They don't look at their rags. They don't look at the fact that they are barefoot. They don't look at the fact that they're not wearing socks and they haven't eaten in 3 days. They love listening to these stories. And these are the stories that, Erdogan was telling the Pakistanis. He was sharing with them exactly these stories. And the Pakistanis were so, enamored by his persona. And he would say Kashmir once in a while and Pakistanis would go gaga. And today, what is Erdogan saying? He said he'll be proud if India becomes a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, which means Turkey supports India's candidature. And over and above, what's happening is that Turkey now, also says that the non-permanent members should turn by turn, in turn, also get a chance to be there, sit on the table, but it will be turn by turn. It will not be like permanent. So currently, there are 5 permanent members, which are the United States of America, Russia, China, France, and UK. These are 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. And over and above that, India. So it's going to be 6. That is what Turkey wants. And Turkey is saying it will be proud if that happens. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all that I have for you today in the news. If you like this video, press the like button. Subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.